What's up, guys? Started pretty early today. Kind of wanted to talk about some of the things that have been happening ever since I started doing this live day trading thing last week. So one of the major things to talk about are losses, which I got to see yesterday for multiple reasons. Two big things happened yesterday. So one, we found this stock KTRA, which had amazing potential, great chances of actually going somewhere. And you have to remember that losses do happen, right? So losses are inevitable. They're gonna happen at times, just like gains are gonna happen. So if we look back to like the whole week, in the beginning of the week, so right here we're looking at May 21st, I was at around a 115K grand total, made a pretty good hit on a good stock, jumped it up pretty high, right? As the week progressed, another day I made another good hit right here, right? Jumped up to 139, had a loss as that next day progressed right here, as you can see. And then yesterday, something went wrong as I picked KTRA. So right in that live moment on the stream when I actually selected KTRA, it went up and I was up $1,000. And I should have sold right away, because that's kind of what the point of day trading is. It's a very rapid thing. You get a plus and then you take it and you stay happy with it. If that stock continues to jump up, then you can jump back in and get more pluses out of it, right? So multiple re-entries are a very common thing with day trading. But yesterday, first thing that went wrong with KTRA was that as soon as I tried to click buy, you could see that the maximum height this had was 215 right here. And as soon as I clicked buy, it literally, the shittiness of Robinhood basically, literally locked me in at the highest price that it had reached, after which it just fell. This is a very common curse a lot of people face, where as soon as you buy something, it just dips, right? And it dipped pretty hard, because you don't want to look at the numeric amount of the money that dipped. You want to look at the percentage that dipped. And here, this is what's going to be more meaningful, because everyone invests different amounts of money. I clearly invested a whole different amount of money. So for me, obviously the percentage led to bigger amounts. But all in all, it's been basically a 20% decline from that investment. However, I'm pretty confident that KTRA is going to go back up, and it's not too far from where it needs to reach. But one, Robinhood messed me up by actually putting me in at the literal highest price. I would have probably been better off waiting. But then again, when you see a day that starts off like this, so you can see this highlighted portion right now was all of yesterday basically. When you see a morning that starts off like this, after a previous day that ended with the spike, you can imagine that this would naturally keep going. It was very evident and very clear that this should go all the way to $3, at least $2.50, but it didn't, because times are weird right now, right? So 2021 has been one of the weirdest days of the stock market that most of us have probably ever seen, and even previous generations have ever seen, where we the people are kind of really dominating certain stocks that really shouldn't be doing so well, aka why they're called meme stocks, right? So we have the GameStop and AMC. They are literally just skyrocketing lately, right? So GameStop broke 260 yesterday. AMC almost hit $20 yesterday. I'm still in it, right? So it's like little things that are happening here and there, and I'm literally just in it for the fun of it. You get whatever you get out of it, right? But because these meme stocks are skyrocketing right now, other stocks are not exactly going to do what they naturally or normally would be doing. So of course yesterday it was definitely possible, after this was mentioned in my Discord server, we did have people who joined in later on, right? So there were people that actually joined at around the 168 price, rode it up a little bit, sold at the 182 price, and that's a good percentage of gain right there. So again, every single cent matters depending on how much you actually invested into it. So with losses, point is, you don't panic sell, right? Don't panic sell, don't freak out. Of course, depending on how much you put in, your losses are going to be a bigger amount, but generally speaking, just focus on the percentage aspect. Now for today, for example, I might actually take the L and sell this if I see another stock today that looks like it's going to skyrocket, right? So then I can ride that up to recover this loss. Basically, that would be the goal of things we're going to look at today. But other than that, I mean, this is going to be on my radar though, because KTRA when we looked at what they've been doing yesterday, they have a great promise, right? Great promise. And obviously, it doesn't really matter too much what the people are saying, but um, yeah, people talking about it is always definitely a good thing. And you can see this morning already, people have woken up and started talking about how the potential with KTRA is just, or Kintara. I just say KTRA because of KTRA, KTRA, but Kintara. The potential with Kintara is huge because of what they've been working on, right? So what they've been doing, as we saw yesterday, is research regarding glioblastoma. So you see how Kintara stock soars after site activation updated on glioblastoma trial. Basically, they got their clinical trial initiated at 15 different sites throughout America. I believe throughout America, which is now going to bring them a lot of data. And as this progresses, of course, this is great because glioblastoma, which is a type of brain tumor, is a huge prospect to find any success with. And initiating 15 different sites, or even one site really, brings in a lot of data, which eventually leads to more progress towards an FDA approval, which is the ultimate end goal that we're all hoping for with KTRA. Yesterday, other things did fly off too. So on our Discord server, we talked about it. Now I haven't really started publicizing the Discord server too much yet. We're all still kind of working on who our team is going to be, what the people I'm working with are going to be, how we're going to manage it all. And we're trying to do something very special here, right? We're trying to do something different from what everyone else does, which is that most Discord servers have a monthly fee or something, and they have a VIP section and a free section and all that stuff. And I'm not really a fan of that. I truly believe in just doing everything with free information, where the money I make or any gains I get out of it should really just be based off of other things, like any commercials or any promotions or stuff like that, right? Kind of what the basis of YouTube is as well, right? YouTube, people do things on YouTube for free. YouTube ads are what's going to pay me, stuff like that. So that's my preferred concept. I'm not a huge fan of what most of the Discord servers do, where they have you paying a subscription fee to get the calls and stuff, right? And then the people that are part of the free group, they don't get any of the calls until much later on, and it's not very fun to be a part of such a thing. Now, of course, I get a lot of them also make a paid portion of their Discord server also to kind of rule out the kids and keep the serious grown-ups in one room, and that's fine and all, but again, can totally do this for free. So that's going to be my Discord server coming up later on, where we talked about some of these other ones. So you can see in the title right now, and I change the title after the video every day at the end of the day to post what were the successes, but I'm going to talk to you about the successes live, not at the end of the day. Of course, I got on pretty early today, so we haven't exactly picked out what we're going to be talking about today yet, but we're getting there. But the point is that yesterday we saw TCAT and YVR. They had a nice moment. I definitely chimed in a little too high on this one as well. But again, you never know what's going to happen, right? So sometimes you chime in and it goes up much higher. This still has chances of going up much higher because you can see it's had instances where it actually went to 50. And it's a pretty new thing, just like NFTs. So as NFTs and the NFT world start making more and more progression, there's more and more chances of this going places. So chances are with this, looking at it the way it is right now, I'll probably just take the hit and get rid of it. But we'll see what's happening. We'll see what's happening because again, it's just 8% hit, so it's not that big of a deal. Lukong is actually doing pretty good, right? So this would have been it was growing very slowly, but it did go up. It went up 1 cent practically every hour, which was pretty annoying. So we'll hold on to that for now. And today's stuff should be up in a couple minutes as we approach the opening hour. But the point right now is that you got to make sure you are ready for losses, right? Make sure you're ready for losses because they do occur, and you just work with it. And right now I'm planning on just holding this 20% loss and waiting for KTRA to actually continue making more progress here. Very promising stock, very promising company. Definitely looking forward to this skyrocketing very soon. So whenever that does happen, I'll already be in to actually chill. As well, you can see some of these other stocks other people are talking about that may be worth grabbing today. So if there is something else that's around the same price range as KTRA right now, and I feel like it's about to skyrocket, I'll take the loss here and buy that and ride that up to make up this loss, right? So as you can see, that's basically the name of the game, right? So over my 1 week thing, you can see a week ago I was at 116. You make big gains sometimes, you make big losses sometimes. I'm still ahead of where I was where I started the week, right? A week ago. So May 21st, that was last Friday, right? So basically I'm still ahead of where I was in my 5-day run. So that's pretty good. That's not so bad, as long as I'm above where I have been. And generally, you want to make sure that, you know, obviously you take bigger gains than your losses and make up for things. So now, as far as looking at things for today, let's take a look at what some of these stocks are. So people are talking about PIRS again. So we actually rode PIRS up here. This day, May 24th, was a PIRS day. Let me just take a look at what they're looking at right now. So today, oh yeah, yesterday it was going down the whole time. So yeah, we can take a look at it together as well. Yesterday it was going down the whole time. Wasn't looking so fancy really. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth a play today. Right, so we actually rode this up already. We took the gains with this one. I wasn't able to grab this big gain. This was the part that occurred overnight. So that part was very unexpected. Did not think it was going to be a sneaky squirrel like that. I was actually hoping for something like that with KTRA overnight too, but of course with the meme stocks running right now, not much can happen there. But ever since it made that huge jump, it's just been coming back down. So I'm not sure what could ever cause it to go up today. Let's see what people are actually saying about it. Seeing downtrend, breaking news, bleeding, robbery. Yeah, it's very unlikely it's going to go back up anytime this week, maybe next week. But yeah, that's not happening. VTNR is looking pretty good today. Actually, a lot of people are talking about VTNR. That might be on our list for things we look at today. So I'll actually keep that open as a tab. This might be, as you can see with VTNR, it's at about the, you know, the way it's been happening. I don't know why I said 178 here, but the way it's been happening, it's already done its big jump, right? So people that were holding it from yesterday took a massive jump, basically. That's the beauty of it, right? We actually did have this open as a tab yesterday in our team, so there might have been some people that picked it up yesterday. Although I'm not sure what caused it to go up like this overnight, but that's beautiful. That's amazing. That literally tripled, right? So you see how it's like often a hit or miss kind of thing. Had I put the investment of, so I put in, what is it, 43K here to pick up KTRA. Had I actually picked up VTNR, I mean, that would have doubled, tripled up to over 100K right there. So things like this, very important to watch out for. Now, how did I at least not actually catch that? Because I don't remember if I looked it up what was happening over here with them. But yeah, there was no news about it that would make it look like something like this was going to happen. So today it's already up so high. So now I don't see why anybody would want to jump in on it. You know, people who got it, of course, yes, good for them. If you missed out, you missed out. Today, again, different things can happen depending on what's in everybody's mood, really. It can either blow up more and go to like $10 and shit like that, or it's just gonna go back to basics. And there's of course the people. So when you read something like this over here, you want to imagine who this could be, whether he's just really hopeful and praying that this skyrockets, or is it someone that actually has a good idea of what's going to happen. So now, that being said, as we're approaching the time to actually start looking at some stocks, the other mistake I made yesterday was that while, you know, actually talking for the channel and stuff, I kind of stopped or lost focus on some of the things I should be focusing on. So there might be some instances where I'm quiet for longer periods of time, but you get to watch everything that's happening. Yeah, Joe, good to have you back, man. I did not pull out. Look at me right here. I did not pull out. So as I said, right, I'm gonna be one of, like, I try to be as real as I can with this whole day trading thing. So I don't know if you just joined, but you know, I was talking about my profile overall. So like last week, I had started the week at 115K with my grand total of all my investments and everything. And then you know, there are days where you're gonna have massive hits. Like you're gonna pick something that's gonna jump up, right? So I took a great gain right here. Not much was happening for a small period, and then took another great gain. So yeah, that's the beauty of these things. Let's see. Overall, you know, it's dancing around. It might come back up more, but let's see. I want to see now what it is we're going to be working with today. So let's see. Oh, this is also being discussed here as well. Let's see where the excitement is today. That's amazing. Imagine we grabbed, what was the other one we were just looking at? VTNR. VTNR. Alright, so opening bell should be happening any moment now, and then we'll see what we're going to be looking at today. And today's goal is basically to try to get us back up to this 133 range, either by getting rid of KTRA and putting the money into something else that will ride it up, or today might be one of those days where nothing much happens and then we just chill. And so AMC, I'm just having fun with today. If it hits 20, I'll sell. That's kind of where I'm just looking to get it to. And I'm pretty sure it's going to do it because that's kind of what the moment is right now. Hilarious how yesterday this basically just skimmed around. I even remember seeing it at 1999 for like a quick microsecond yesterday. Now with VTNR today, this is looking pretty nice. This is like jumping around up and down between 4 and 450. But again, I'm not a huge fan of jumping in on stocks after they've done this big jump. But sometimes what happens is they go up much higher than where they are. You know, one day we will catch. One day we will catch this. We're going to be in on a price of 170 something. The stock is going to be stable all day. Apparently the stock has been stable all week, which was pretty interesting to see. It's very rare for something like this. And then the next morning we're going to wake up to a party of 150% gain. That's not too far-fetched to imagine. So we'll keep that there. Let's see. Another one I want to look at is dogs, apparently. Let's take a look at dogs. Wow, okay. I've dabbled in here before, but with not much success. Just a little day trading I did in April, apparently. 162 to 196. Trying to break $2 today, but what's causing them to? Sometimes on FinViz you get the actual updated news where you know exactly what's happening. So May 27th, here we go, 9:15 a.m. Douglas receives a large follow-on order from Petco. So that's pretty awesome. Oh my god. Today. One of the other things that are pretty critical when meme stocks are flying is that the rest of the stock market does become a little tad bit boring, which is very common. Very, very common. So, you know, you just sit back and enjoy that because there's not much else you could do about that part. Today may actually be a day where I just hold this and, you know, again, we're not too far from my fucked up Robinhood entry price, but this is something I would imagine. I am more than confident that by Monday, Tuesday, you know, sometime next week, this is gonna come back up, and we're gonna come back to our base of 130. Start working towards 150 next week, So that's my goal. So we got METX. METX is something I'm extremely excited for as well. I'm not gonna buy VTNR after that big jump, but METX. So there was a couple. There were a whole group of actually Chinese education stocks, and then this one here, Cayman Islands education stock, and a bunch of other education related stocks that were skyrocketing not too long ago. You know, so like, it was really interesting to see out of nowhere that those stocks did what they did. This one is a relatively new one that listed on March 31st at a obviously high opening price, 18 bucks. And now today it's officially become a penny stock. But now it's where it's supposed to be. And as they make progress, this is going to go ahead and just have one random day where it's going to just boom, right? So they do overseas training services, online English stuff. Right? And of course it is headquartered also in China, right? So you can see that these were all of those stocks that were kind of summarized with this. I don't see the relevant stocks down here. They all did the same kind of thing. They all just skyrocketed that one day, and it was really interesting to see that. So this is one I'm keeping on my radar big time on my other laptop. NLSP is looking pretty nice today. This little above the price range I'm trying to get in on it, and it's been a very funky, weird stock. I don't see any stability with it at all. It's one of those stocks you grab and ride for a second and then just jump out again and just keep getting in and out of it. So not a huge fan of it. Now, if we move over, you know, so one of the things you can do in these times when meme stocks are rocketing is look at crypto related stocks. So those would be your things like Marathon Digital, right? So this had a pretty nice week. Okay, so that's already done. Riot, right? Riot Blockchain, another one that had a very nice recovery week. It all sank that moment where Bitcoin was sinking, came down to a pretty good low. A lot of people grabbed it here, right? And now it's all making its recovery days. BTBT is another one. Bit Digital, right? So this is a cheaper one, also making its, obviously you can see big recovery moments now today, over this week actually, now that crypto is kind of sort of stabilizing once again. So we'll keep BTBT here. I'm not sure I see anything with dogs. And then of course SOS is the cheapest of the bunch, right? So this is more like a penny stock, which has also been going upwards, starting at like the lowest point was 276 on May 24th. So this is another one that may have some massive chance of entry and gains, but not really seeing much right now that I want to do, right? So I don't have much buying power to begin with at the moment anyway. Keeping KTRA on dock, but that's kind of what's limiting me, but not everyone else. So I do want to keep eyes out for things that people can actually jump in on and have success with. So again, we have to see what it would be for today. This just needs to break 20 and then I'm out of that. That's not a big deal. Any of these things up here, by the way, these are just things I'm holding so that at the end of the year, when tax season comes along, I can sell them all and have some losses to list out as well. Right, so that's always a good idea. Some losses are worth holding on to. You never know if it will actually fly up more and you end up making them into a gain, but at the very least you have some losses. In the middle here, these are all my dividend stocks, the number one guy being ORC. So I talk about this on my channel in some videos as well. I just got paid by ORC yesterday actually, and I'm trying to get more and more of it so I can have that passive monthly dividend income. And then KTRA is the L right now. As you can see, cryptos are on an upward trend. So this is when, you know, when you start seeing these upward trends happening with crypto, that's kind of when you start focusing on these guys. But Again, these two are the cheaper ones. The more expensive ones, Mara and Riot, are much harder to work with. You know, the amount of money it would take to pick up a very relevant amount of them is not easy. Now, Marathon Digital is definitely the one to work with. Today, this might actually break 30, but let me see how much can I actually buy this. So if I was to sell KTRA, that would give me 33,000 right now, but it's still sinking. Okay, so let's say I put 33k into here, I can pick up 1,200 stocks. Okay, so do we want to try that? I can always come back to KTRA, pick it back up at this price range later on or another day and write it up, but it's unfortunate that even in the last few seconds of us discussing, every cent that goes down is another I would say, I think that's about another $200 for every cent that goes down. Yeah, so not sure what I want to do with this, because I mean, I would pick up Mara, but with 1,300 stocks in Mara, that's not going to be enough to recover KTRA losses. Whatever I would pick up, I would have to pick up this many up. So it would have to be at a very cheap price such that I can buy 20,000 worth of it with the amount of money I have. So I'm not really inclined on grabbing KTRA. I mean, grabbing Marathon. Halted. What is this stock? Online retailer home furnishings. Why would this fly? Very weird. That's pretty freaking random. Literally jumped from 445 to 1440. So if we're imagining VTNR is gonna fly, I can pick up let's just try it out. Let's see where we can ride this to. So I got in on, let's see what Robinhood gave me. 453. Okay. think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a note of where I sold this at so that I know how much I need to recover later. So we're gonna say, come on, KTRA. We're gonna say this is about a minus 10.5k loss, and we're gonna grab this 25% back later on because I kind of want to move that fund from here to something else I might want to grab today. Just hoping, obviously, right when I'll sell it, this is gonna come up a couple cents, which is gonna be quite a piss off. So I'll wait for it to come up. Once it comes up, I'll go ahead and put in the sell order. And I'm gonna be using my phone for most of these buy and sells from here on too, because it does it at a better response rate than the computer. Don't want to get fucked up again. VTNR, Mara. I feel like because Mara has this potential of riding crypto to 56 and shit like that, you know, it's been at a 56 at an all-time high. As you can see, as Bitcoin was going up and up, and I sold around here too, Marathon was just flying as well, right? So now, since things are coming back up, I'm not really inclined to buy any crypto right now. I'm more so doing day trading. I already had my crypto fund, and I did the doggies thing as well, where I had a huge gain out of doggy during that Elon Musk week. So now I'm just trying to use that funding for mostly day trading stuff. So what I'm going to try to do is probably get rid of KTRA and use the money from KTRA to ride Marathon. And it's nice that it's dipping right now so that we can kind of go back up with it. Oh, VTNR coming down, which is pretty typical. Pretty typical. Not a huge thing for me anyway. Come back up. Such a bitch. Well, anyway, that seems like that's really all that's happening today. Not much else to really kind of discuss here. We had our lessons about understanding losses and being real about it. Me being very upfront with you guys about it all, and then not much else is really showing up as a big gain thing for today. But as always, tomorrow I'll revise whatever I did get to accomplish today, and then we'll see where the gains are. And as I said, we're still working on our Discord server structure. It's going to be completely free. I don't really look forward to having any kind of bullshit subscription fees or anything like that. And if there is a subscription fee portion to it, then it'll be for other things. But generally speaking, the calls and stuff, as I make them here for free, they'll be free on the Discord server as well with me and my team once we have the structure down. So you'll be able to, of course, join us there all day, every morning, to discuss whatever is happening in the stock market world. And I've been part of many Discord groups myself as well, but not really a fan of many of them and how they were structured. So I'm going to try to topple all that and do a better job myself. But yeah, that being said, thanks a lot for joining this morning. As meme stocks come to a halt and finish up, we'll come back to having more of days like these where we had the big gains, right? So those were the good days, and then it was literally starting this week where AMC and GameStop had their pump happening again. So of course that wasn't very fun, right? But yeah, I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning to wrap up the week, and then we'll see what we can accomplish. Thanks a lot for joining.